All right, Knucklehead Nation, I'm back again this week with a man we've seen in the Lions Den multiple times. A guy who, honestly, I don't think has a better highlight reel than anybody else in Fighters Rep, and a guy who brings entertainment every time he steps in the ring. Connor, Kenny Powers,
Connor, Kenny,
Bracken.
it's all good. Yeah,
How you doing,
we out
sir?
here doing good, man. Fucking excited to be back on Fighter Jet. Sorry, I'm walking the street right now. It's just hella loud. Let me get to a quieter spot. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Yeah, you good? All right, cool. Yeah, man. Fucking stoked to be back. What's good?
That's awesome, man. What you doing in LA? Because normally you're in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I came down to get tattooed. So I flew down yesterday morning. Got tattooed all day. Now we're walking around the jewelry district looking for some chains.
Hey, man, trying to get iced out, man. Out here
Oh
looking
yeah,
cold.
that's it.
So, what piece did you get done? Now I gotta ask.
It's my back. My fucking. I can't take. It's all wrapped up and stuff, but it's like my whole back. You guys will see it in the fight though.
Okay, okay. Well,
Yeah, it's got.
gonna keep it a
We need a
surprise.
few more sessions on it, but
That's dope. Well,
yeah,
do we at least get a little hint on what the design is, or
it's right on brand, man. It's a massive skull.
I was about to say that's yeah. You took the words out of my mouth. That is right on brand. So you have an artist down based in LA?
Yeah, this guy Sean from Texas. He's like he's dope. He does crazy shit, and I didn't even know what I was getting tattooed. I just like flew down and talked to him, and then we had like a hour long conversation. Eventually, we decided to like do this big skull, and then we're gonna do a bunch of other shit around it. I'm fucking stoked on it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
he did my chest with like the whole like cold world shit. But,
Oh yeah, that's dope, dude. Yeah, man.
yeah.
Well, we're not at that part of the show yet, but does he have a shop you can shout out? Maybe some people can set up some
You can
appointments.
find him on Instagram. I think he only does appointments. It's like a private studio and stuff.
Okay,
But yeah, Sean from Texas is his handle. He's fucking G. Yeah.
awesome, man. Well,
Yeah.
besides getting tattooed, obviously we've been seeing you in the gym training.
Yeah, every day.
How's
Yeah,
that been going, sir?
it's been going great, man. I had a couple of injuries, a couple of things went sideways, you know. So it was kind of good for me. Like taking that time off, I'm like, fuck, like I wanted to get back into the gym and get back training so bad, and now my everything's all good. I'm fucking banging again, and like Matt's got a fight. My boy George just had a fight, so I'm like tagging onto their camps, and then my camp's around the corner. So I'm 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 stoked.
Man, that's great. That's great momentum, man. I've discussed it with a few fighters, but you know, one thing I really, and it definitely goes to show the success is, especially your gym, Wooden Man Muay Thai, you guys got a one solid stable of fighters. And I
Dude,
bring
it's
this up
crazy.
every time. Like
Yeah, man. I
having
mean,
a
you got
solid set pushes everybody.
yeah, yeah. You got like the highest level in the world in all in one gym. You know, Matt Baker, Glory, like top ranked Glory guy. Fucking Eddie's killing it. Just had that crazy fight with City Chai. Sean's about to be in one. Fucking me, Ethan, Flossie, Dougie, all the fucking boys, like everyone's like bunch of pros. It's like you don't find like usually you go to a gym, there's like one pro, there's one like big guy that's doing it, and like at our gym, everybody's doing it and everybody's pushing each other. It's fucking sick.
No, yeah, that's got to be way different, man. Like I said, I come from a little small gym. We're one of those same guys with the one big pro and all that. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, man, I gotta ask you, what is that like walking into a gym and knowing everybody is on that professional level, is trying to be that best in the world, and on top of it as well, you guys have quite a bit of a range in terms of weight classes and body types. Like you said,
yeah,
your teammate Matt Baker, I believe, fights at heavyweight, man. Like I've seen that guy
yeah.
walking around a
Now
few
he's fighting
times. He's a
heavyweight. That
Viking.
motherfucker makes fucking 187 sometimes. I don't know how. His fucking bones are hollow or something. That fool's like 6'5".
Yeah.
I tell people we fought in the same weight class before, and they're like, how? Like, but I don't know. He's yeah. Honestly, he's fucking. He's dope, dude. Like it's training with him has like pushed me to another level. Like, and then obviously like all the other talent, you just get all these different looks because everyone has different styles too, and like you learn so much from each person and like. Even the smaller guys, you know, like I spar with Sean, I spar with Eddie. Like I still learn a lot of shit from them. Like Eddie's movement is fucking crazy. It's dope to watch. I try to apply it to like my boxing and stuff.
So what's it like too as well, like, obviously having those different levels, different styles and everything, like, knowing too, you walk in a gym, you mentioned your teammate Eddie Abasolo and a few other guys, they're in one championship. We have one guy who's fought in glory, like, what's kinda like having guys in those different big time shows, but all in the same place?
It's honestly, it just makes it seem like it's right there for me. You know, like I see it, and I'm like I am that level as well. You know,
Mhm.
like I'm hanging with those dudes. Like we all train together. They're doing it big, and it's like I'm doing it big too. We're gonna do it big on Fighters Rep.
I can agree. Well, let's get a little bit more into the performances you've had at Fighters Rep, like,
Yeah,
for example, the last one, man, like, that one was fun. You and Tyler Smith, that was
that
a
was cool, man.
fun fight, man. I was
Yeah,
ringside for that, and that was incredible.
yeah. Tyler's a good dude, man. He's tough. Fucking stepped up on short notice for that fight, and you know I do it a little heavier weight than I normally do. Um, uh, and I was training for a totally different opponent. Like I was training for a guy that was gonna run away from me, and I didn't know. I just didn't know how far he was gonna run. You know, he fucking didn't even show up to the goddamn fight. But then, yeah, Tyler stepped up. That was fucking dope. But Tyler's a fucking banger, dude. He fucking stood right there and threw at me until he couldn't. You know, and that's the kind of fights everybody likes to see. That's what I hope this next guy does. He's like, at least try. You know, fucking stand there in front of me and let's bang. And then you know, once he can't, he'll go down. That'll be it.
That's awesome, man, that's awesome, and like I said, man, I was ringside for that, and those are some heavy shots you guys were throwing at each other, man, like, watching that back and forth was one of my favorite starts to, like, any first round where you
Yeah,
guys you guys had fought before, there was no feeling out process, it was pick up right
100%.
where we left off, and you guys definitely did that.
Yeah, dude, it was just like round five, just like right off the bat, just start swinging. He cracked me good in the first round, but I feel like I always need to get hit once or twice before I really get in the fight. Um, but yeah, that was a really fun one. We'd been training on like working the body, and I remember specifically like going into that one, I really wanted to finish it with my left hand because everyone talks about my right hand. Like, oh, and I remember George was like, "Oh, do you have that same power in your left hand?" I was like, "We'll find out." Like, so and I was stoked I got the finish with the left that time.
Oh, man, that was great, man, you dig into his body, you got the hooks, you get the dirty boxing in there, and then you just land that good one.
Hell yeah.
Man, like I said, man, you've had some very fun performances, or even one of my personal favorites, again, we reposted it the other day, was that Ed Herman knockout.
Yeah, Ed Hyman. Yeah,
Yeah, Hyman,
another
sorry.
fucking no, all good. Another great fighter. Yeah, he fought my teammate Matt at both of their glory debuts, and it was like, um, it was just so like the universe just putting the shit in front of me. I'm like, wow, like it's like this is the path that I need to go. And like when I remember when I saw his name, I was like, I know that name. I was like, and I looked it up and I was like I obviously I'm gonna go watch his fights. And I pull it up and Matt's fighting him, and I'm like, holy shit! Like Matt fought this dude, and like Matt and I had just at that point like really started training together a lot. And I was like, that's perfect. And that was like I remember that camp. Just the whole time I was like, this is the biggest test. This is like this dude's a legit fucking fighter. Like you know, like and legit kickboxer. You know, I fight a lot of like MMA dudes or whatever, but like you know, he kickboxes. He's taller than me, bigger than me. So I trained hard for that camp, and you know, it just all came together so well. And then it was insane, like a 22-second knockout. Like
Yeah.
after all that, like it's like I remember Matt told me like you shouldn't be surprised like the amount of work that you put in. Like how could that not happen? You know, like and yeah, it was just surreal. Like I don't even remember feeling the punch land. I thought when he went down, I like thought he had slipped at first, and then I like watched his head bounce off the canvas, and I was like, "Holy shit, I fucking got him!" Like, and yeah, you know, and it's like it's just cool. Like fighting's fucking dope because it's like you put in the work and you get to see it immediately. You know, like you get in that ring. Like I know I did enough work. I know I did more work than this fool. I know he's not gonna fucking outwork me. I'm gonna outwork him.
Well, that's the beauty of it, right? It's the showcase, and I think that's where a bit of the element of the showman kind of comes from within that mentality of fighting. At the end of the day, I think the best metaphor I ever heard for like breaking down just different types of fighters and why people do it is like, for one, you have the athletes, people who are going in there to compete. They have an athletic background in something else. They may not be the most naturally malicious person, but they are so competitive and love to win. You have the guys that maybe got a sketchier past, they've had a few anger issues, they've been in a few street fights, but are just fucking dogs. Like they go in there, they love the action, they love to fight, and that's what they give every time. And as well as you have guys who put in the work and love the crowd, love that it's their moment, love the spotlight, and are showmen and have these fun, exciting fights. And like, man, I would say you're a mix of like, the latter two, man. Like you're a guy that's, you know, definitely has that acumen of attuned for fighting. Definitely loves to scrap. Definitely always down
Yeah.
to throw a punch or two, and as well, like embraces the moment. Like you said, and I was gonna address it, coming out with some great hairstyles, some mullets, man, and
Yeah,
being
I
a
figured
likable
that question
dude.
was gonna come up. Yeah, yeah, man, that is me. I fought, you know, since I was a kid, like, and not even like it's not even like I grew up in some like crazy place or whatever. I mean, Huntington Beach is kind of crazy, but like, you know, I just always found fights. Like, I just, you know, from I remember like second grade getting in my first fight, you know, and then from then on, it was just I loved it. I love violence. I love doing that, and you know, for years I fought in the streets and fucking whooped people's asses, and then the next morning I wake up and I'm like, fuck, that wasn't cool. Like that fool didn't know what he was getting himself into, and then like so then I'm like, all right, you know, let's go fight in the ring, and 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 it's great, you know, I get to physically harm people, and then everyone cheers for it, and I don't get arrested, and fucking, you know, this guy signed up for it, so it's not my bad. I don't feel bad about it, you know.
Mhm.
It's like fighting's fucking perfect, dude. And I do love athletics, and you know, I played sports growing up, but in those sports I would always find a way to get in a fight. So I'm like, I should just go fight. I'm fucking being a dick to all these poor little water polo kids.
Oh man, you were a water polo player?
Fuck yeah, man. 4 years, Fountain Valley High School.
Oh wow, man.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I would not want to be in a pool with you, man. I would not. Like,
Dude, but water polo is violent. That's where I learned how to, like, you know, scrap. Really, I had fucking three of my teeth knocked out
yeah,
in a water polo game once.
tough
Luckily, I had
sport.
braces at the time, and I like was able to like twist them down. I put them back in and like bent the braces back down. And then the dentist was like, "You somehow saved your teeth because like it seems like they're growing back and reattaching, and it's been cool since then." But I tried to get back
Um,
in and play. My mom wasn't having it.
speaking of teeth, you were telling me a little bit of a story, man. I gotta ask a little more
Oh
about it
yeah,
because we were talking about wisdom teeth because my
yeah.
partner, she's getting her wisdom teeth removed, and we were just sharing stories of because we both have had them removed. You were telling me you got yours removed in prep for a fight.
Well, so I had a fight coming up, and I knew I needed to get him out, but I was like, I had been fighting like an amateur at this point, like pretty regularly, and I was like, fuck, I can't take the time off. But then it got so bad, like my teeth were, my like it was like crushing the tooth behind it. So I like woke up in just like an insane amount of pain,
Mm,
and I
mm.
remember just like trying to like I was like someone told me swish with vodka, so I was like I remember I had to teach class at Wooden Man in the morning, and I'm like fucking holding vodka in my cheek, and I'm like trying to like I'm like teaching class, but my fucking head hurts, and eventually coach came through, and I was like, bro, I gotta go, like I need to go to the fucking hospital right now, and so he was like, all right, go, buddy, and then like so I went, and then I like they were like, yeah, you need to have all four of your wisdom teeth pulled right now, and I was like, fuck, like, and so I did that, and they pulled them all, and then like I get out of there, and the next day I was like, fuck, I got to get right back to training. Fight's still coming up. And so I'm in the gym, and coach is like, take it easy, buddy. Like, just see what you can do. And I was like, all right. Like, so I hit the rower, and I like start hitting the rower, and my heart rate starts coming up, and then like the stitches on my wisdom teeth busted, and start fucking just blood like pouring out of my mouth as
Yeah.
I'm fucking hitting this rower. And I'm like, well, I'm here already. I'll fucking finish the workout. So I finished the workout, and I had to go back to the dentist. But yeah, and then after all that, fucking the dude that I was supposed to fight ended up pulling out, and I was like,
Wow.
fuck, man. But it is what it is.
Remind me not to go on the cardio machines after you at the gym, man. Like, like
Dude,
just
yeah,
pouring them with blood.
I fucking baptized those things. I sweat like a motherfucker.
You definitely did. Like, man, that's wild. Like, that goes to show how much you want to scrap. You literally got your teeth removed, your stitches were bleeding, like your jaw's barely holding on. You're like, throw me in there, like put me in,
Bro,
coach. Like,
I love fucking people up. That's my favorite thing in the world. There's nothing like it. There's no other drug out there. I've done a lot of them, and there's nothing else that gets you as high as fucking knocking some dude the fuck out or breaking him, which is almost better, I think. It's like I'll sacrifice anything I need to fucking get back in that ring.
man, I love it, man. I love that dedication, man. Like, and I gotta ask a part about that story too. When you were saying the vodka part, man. So you were just teaching class and you're just swishing vodka like
Well, I
through the
wasn't
side of your
drinking it.
mouth.
Coach, I promise, if you're listening, I wasn't drunk teaching class. But I know I had read something or someone told me, I can't remember, but it does kind of numb the pain. That, and then nicotine does too. So before it got like unbearably bad, I was just like, swishing the vodka around and then putting like little chew pouches
Yeah.
on that spot, and it would numb it out, which I'm sure was making it fucking way worse, which is why they were like, you need emergency surgery to get your teeth removed. But
Well, yeah. Yeah. That's deteriorating the nerve around there.
yeah, hey, I fucking get punched in the head for a living.
Hey, man, you're built different, dude. Like I said, you're durable. Like, again, like I said, you've proven, I feel like, a lot of things within the Lions Den, and even especially that durability within your first fight in the Lions Den. Versus
Yeah,
Eddie Ambien Jackson, man. That was a war
yeah.
too,
Shout
man.
out Eddie Jackson, dude. Eddie's a fucking gangster. I love that dude. Um, we scrapped it out, and then we talk all the time. Like we talk on Instagram and stuff, and like he's always got some like wise words for me. Like when the other day I was fucking ranting like a psycho while I was running, and then he like sent me a nice message. He was like, like eventually you're gonna calm down, things are gonna settle out for you. And I'm like, all right. But but
I know.
he's a cool dude.
I can only imagine, like, we have the highlights of you as a young man in your fighting career, taking skulls, and then cut to 30, 40 years later, we have a older Conor Bracken sitting on his porch, like, rocking chair, chilled out, that old man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking God willing, I make it there. We'll see. But,
Well, you know, I want to get into a little bit too of what's next, man. What's on the horizon for Conor Bracken, man? When are we gonna see you back in the Lions Den?
hey man, September's the rumor. No contract yet, and we've had a couple guys not they talk like they want to show up, and then they don't show up. So I hope this dude is not just talk. He's going to show up and actually shows up. Because I think it's a great opponent. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything about it yet, but
We'll keep that under wraps. We'll
yeah,
wait for
yeah,
official dealings, but
yeah.
we'll at least reveal we're looking to get Conor Bracken back in.
Fuck yeah, yeah. I'm ready to go, dude. I'm ready to go whenever. I've been, I'm fiending. I'm fucking scratching my neck and shit. I haven't fucked anybody up in a while.
Man, just a warrior built for it, man. And also unrelated, but I mentioned earlier, and I gotta make sure to ask about it before I let you go, man.
Yeah.
The mullet's gone.
The mullet's gone, dude.
The mullet's gone.
Yeah, you know, I like I had kind of like a big life change. I got like sober, and I got like sober,
Oh
and
wow!
and
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, I've got like I think I have like 58 days right now, or 59. Um,
That's
but
very difficult.
um, yeah, so I just the mullet, like, to me encompassed this like kind of party vibe and like this
Hmm.
like thing, and I'm sure it's all in my head, and I'm not saying the mullet will never be back, but I like almost was about to shave it. I had it in my hand, and I'm like looking at the sink, and I'm like, oh, I can't fucking do it. And I went to bed, and then I woke up at like 5 o'clock that morning, and I was like, I need to shave my head right now. I like go to the bathroom, fucking buzzed it down to a zero, and like and showed up to the gym the next day, and like nobody recognized me, and which is kind of nice. It's still kind of nice because the people that I don't want to recognize me on the streets, they don't, you know, and I can just head down and walk off. But
Hmm.
um, but yeah, dude, I don't know. I just felt like it was a time for a change. I needed something different. Plus, taking care of all that hair is fucking hard, man. I was like
Yeah.
conditioner and fucking brushing and all that shit. I'm getting ready for war. I don't want to worry about my hair.
You're telling me, man, like, hey, like, as a guy who's currently wearing a hat right now to hide his very
You got
curly
some good
hair,
hair
like,
under there.
I've been there, dog, man. I
Yeah,
understand when you get curly hair, especially yours, man. You had the curly mullet, man. That's
yeah,
difficult. That's why I always respected you, man. I'm like, that's an effort to a commitment to a look, man.
dude. Because
To
it literally, like, if I wasn't detangling my shit every morning, it was like turning into I would like pull out dreadlocks and shit. Like, I
oh
was like, I can't fucking do this anymore.
oh
Like,
man, I feel that. I tried it a little bit. Like I said, I let this grow for like a few months. Like I
yeah,
think it was like 5. I was like, I don't know how long hair guys do it. And
yeah.
I just got sick. I same thing. I got sick of it one day, went to the barber the next day. I'm like, get rid of this shit. Like,
That's it, dude. I just can't devote that much of my life to taking care of my hair.
well, you mentioned something pretty interesting, pretty big life change, and I'm have some personal stories and stuff, but definitely respect anybody who's trying to get sober. You know, do you mind if I ask a little bit more about
No,
that?
yeah, dude,
Or
go for it. I'm down to talk about it. It's good for other people to hear it.
yeah.
I I struggled with drugs for most of my life, really. Like
Mhm.
I went to rehab when I was like 16, 17 years old.
Mhm.
And that was for heroin, and
Wow.
I got clean off of heroin, and thanks to my mom and some good friends that helped me through that. And after that's when I really got addicted to like training and fighting and shit. But then
Mhm.
stuff always would happen, where I would kind of like you know get on a good path, and then I then go party for months and stuff, and then most recently I like um, after the last fighters rep, I went on a little vacation, and then I had a breakup, and then I was like, all right, fuck it, like let's party, and then the party was going. I was like, all right, I'll get a fight again eventually, like, and then I'll get my shit together, and then like the fights kept falling through, and then injuries kept happening, and then I kept making more excuses and more excuses on like, okay, like it's cool if I drink today, it's cool if I fucking do this or do that, like,
Mhm.
and and then it got to a point where I was drinking every fucking day, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna schedule a marathon. So I scheduled to run a marathon, um, and I was like, that I'll get sober for that. That'll be the thing. And then I was like, couldn't do it. And then I was like, all right, well, a month out from the marathon, I'll stop drinking. Couldn't do it. Like I was like, all right, a week, I'll stop fucking drinking. Couldn't do it. And I was like, all right, well, the day before, I really need to fucking get sober because I'm about to run a marathon. And then uh, I couldn't sleep because I was like not drinking, and then I freaked out, and I found this like shitty bottle of like Moscato that was fucking rolling around, chugged it, and then like fucking waited until the liquor stores opened, bought more booze, was like hitting it, and then I was like, all right, fucking going to the airport, taking shots in the airport, like getting on the plane wasted, like get to the marathon's in Hawaii, and then I go out to Hawaii, Maui, beautiful, and I'm fucking sweating and like hurting, uh, and you know, uh, me and like one of my best friends, Sam.
Sorry, folks. It appears we may have lost Connor there for a second. Hopefully, he comes back. Oh, you're back. You're back. I can't hear you yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get there, like we get to the starting line like 5 in the morning Hawaii time, and we fucking ripped another shot right before the marathon and start running, and I'm like, about like 6, 7 miles in, I'm like, fuck, the booze is worn off, my body hurts, my head hurts,
Mhm.
and I got through like about 20 miles, and then my legs started cramping up, and I kept having to
Mhm.
run and stop and run and stop and run and stop, and then, but like I got to mile 23 in like 3 hours or something, which is like pretty good time, and then the last 3 miles took me another hour, or no,
Mhm.
another hour, like an hour and a half or some shit. Like it took hella long, and I was like bent over and like this, like just like hobbling, and I like got to the finish line just barely. I finished it, but I I had to get carried on like a gurney off to the
Wow.
side because I was cramping up so bad. They were like, you're in rhabdomyolysis and you fucking
Yeah.
your body's fucked up, and they couldn't find my veins because they were all collapsed. So um, they um, ended up the doctor came through and was able to find them finally after like I sipped some water too, and then my body sucked down like 2 bags of IV fluid. And then I'm like laying there, and then the doctor's like jokingly like, "Oh yeah, how about a Sierra Nevada?" And I was like, "Oh fuck, do you have one?" And then he was like, "What?" He's like you should not drink for like a while. And I was like, "Oh okay, right." And then as soon as I was up and moving, I like went to the car that we had parked there and fucking ripping tequila shots, and then got wasted all the way back, and then you know fast forward to 5 days after that, I was like waking up like on the floor of my apartment, like fucking sick and just body fucked up. My nose is bleeding. My fucking everything's crashing around me. I called one of my really good friends who's in the program, and he, you know, took me to a meeting, and you know, still talks to me all the time. Every time I'm feeling crazy or like I want to, do something I shouldn't. I got some good people to call him out, um, and it's I don't know, it's nice. I feel I felt really like at peace, working the program and actually like, you know, sincerely trying to get sober, but there's something about fighting that's like it puts me back in my like psycho mindset, and like I love it. I love this feeling that I have right now. I'm like I feel like charged up. My spine's tingling. I've got a purpose. I'm ready to go. But throughout all this, like this time, I want to not just you know throw away everything else around my life and try to make fighting more sustainable for me, so I don't crash and burn. I want to be fighting for a long time.
No, man, that's awesome, man. I had no idea. I had no
Yeah, I
idea.
don't.
That's an incredible
I
story.
I don't want to tell nobody because I don't want anybody to tell me to get sober. So, but now I know I'm doing it. It's a fucking public announcement. I'm sober, keeping myself accountable.
Hey, man, it never hurts. It never hurts, man. That's awesome,
Yeah,
man. Though, like,
yeah,
it's a big difference, especially when you stop drinking. I personally have oh man, almost coming up on 2 years, a
fuck yeah,
year and some change. Not drinking and doing certain, making certain lifestyle changes. Um, but yeah, man, it's such a night and day difference. Like when you hit a rock bottom and then just going up from there as a guy who's had some struggles and then made some turns. Like trust me, it gets a lot better, and there's a lot of beauty within that of making a good decision.
yeah, yeah, dude. I feel like I absolutely made the right decision. That's dope. You're sober too. And it's like I feel like a lot of people are getting sober, even people that like don't have problems with it. They're just like you realizing how bad alcohol is for you, really, and a lot of drugs. But,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, man, and then,
it's cool.
for me, it was like I said, I had some health stuff as well and everything, so that was like the main big purpose. I'm not gonna out here like claim I had a crazy journey, but definitely I've been
everyone's
a
got
guy
their
who's
own
cleaned
story.
some stuff up, like,
Yeah, yeah,
but, that's actually absolutely incredible, man, and I think one thing I wanna kind of expand on that I find common in fighting and that I love to just in any form of media really try to convey is the beautiful muse that it is.
yeah.
There's nothing like it, man. I encourage everybody, if you've never been to a live event, a live combat sports event, please come to one. Fighters Rep going on sale, July 10th. Please
Go.
check out this man, and September 9th.
Yeah.
Little quick plug. Um, but there's nothing like it. There's no other feeling like that. There's no other high like it. There's no other high than competing and winning.
It's crazy, dude, and even just being sidelined for like a year and like just supporting my teammates and training some of my friends and cornering them and stuff. It's like just being in the building is fucking electric. Just being around it is like everyone gets charged up after a fight. It's like everyone in the crowd's like, oh, what are we doing after? We got to go. Like, let's go out. Let's look. Like,
Mhm.
it's such a cool event. For the fighters, they get to showcase everything that they've worked on and like have this big goal in mind, and then all their friends, supporters, fans, whatever. Like, you get to watch that happen, and it's like it's violent and it's crazy but it's beautiful and it's artistic too. You know.
Well, like you said, it's mixed martial arts. It's the art of war at the
Fuck
end of the
yeah, dude.
day. It's the art of war. And I feel like it's the most honest you see somebody. It's the most vulnerable you see a human at. They're in their survival element. They're being pushed to their limits. Some fights you see guys, they get pushed to almost death. We've seen a
Yeah.
few deaths within the ring itself. Like it's no joke.
It's not a
I
game, man.
always
That's the one thing I fucking keep trying to. I mean, there's people out there like it's cool being a good sport and being like, oh yeah, we're having fun. It's a sport, but it's like it's not a sport, dude. I'm trying to fucking bash your head in. You're trying to bash my head in. If I
Mhm.
knock you out, I'm fucking taking years off your life. You're taking years off of mine when you hurt me. It's like it's fucking it's scary, dude. I mean, that's why it's dope. It's like it's not a game, especially at the weight that I fight at, man. Like, um,
Mhm.
you know, it's we're in there trying. It's all good after, but or hopefully it is, um, but it is not a game. It's not a normal sport, man. I don't even call it a sport. It is war.
All right, man. Well, I want to leave out on that, man. Like that leads me to the last two questions. I don't want to chew up too much of your time, but again, thank you, sir, for just giving me this time and us getting to know you a little bit
Oh
more and
yeah,
what's going on
yeah.
with
Thank you
Conor
for having
Bracken and sharing that story.
me. Yeah, man.
And so that leads me into my final two questions. We already know a little bit that the rumor mill is out there that we'll see Conor Bracken back in the Lions Den, but you want to give me a little promo for that upcoming fight?
Come through, man. It's gonna be a fucking banger. If it's the dude that says he's down, he's a big guy. It's gonna be bigger they come, harder they fall. Shout out, end it. Um, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a fucking banger.
All right, man. And then the last question I always hold off at the end of the show. Any shout outs on any family, friends, teammates, sponsors you want to make?
Um, yeah, man. I mean, shout out Windman Muay Thai, really. Johnson on, um, you know, Matt Baker, that's my brother. All my training partners, everyone at the gym, everyone at Windman. Um, the I love you guys. My clients too. Honestly, you know, I love that I get to train people that I genuinely like hanging out with. I'm excited. I wake up every morning and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go kick it with like a bunch of my homies today, and then like that's my job, you know. So shout out everyone at the gym. Shout out Fires Rep. Shout out George. Thank you for for getting it going again, dude. I'm excited, and I'll have some more sponsors stuff to shout out when I got more specifics. But that's it for now. Follow me on Instagram, Thick and Brack. If you like watching me talk crazy shit, I'll do it on my stories, on my runs. Um, but yeah, that's about it, man.
Awesome, man. Thank you again for your time. And like I said, Knucklehead Nation, tickets for this upcoming Fighters Rep 19 go on sale July 15th. You're going to want to get yours before they sell out. is gonna be one hell of a show. I
Heck yeah, it is.
appreciate you again, sir.
Let's go.